Hi, this is Rick Bice with Bice Fit Exercises on behalf of Edmonds Park and Recreation. Today we're going to go through a circuit training class. What we'll do is we'll alternate between strength training exercises for the muscles, bones, and connective tissues, and then cardiovascular exercise for the heart, lungs, and circulatory system. What we'll do, it's all timed, so what we'll do is we'll do a minute on an exercise. We'll take a 30-second break. We'll do another minute on the same exercise or something very similar, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. So I'll call all those out as they happen. What you'll need for this exercise program today is a chair over here, maybe some light to medium dumbbells, and some resistance tubing or band. Maybe light or medium, whatever you have on that. With or without handles, doesn't matter on that. We will begin with a warm-up. We will go through the exercises, then we'll finish off with a cool down and then some stretches at the end. This is all at your own pace, so we strive for a minute's worth of work. If you need to take your breaks, quicker than that, or if by the end of the minute you're not tired or fatigued, you could just go straight through that break that we have. So it's all up to you, the kind of resistance you use, whatever works for your body. Make sure your surrounding area is clear, that you've got room to move around, arm's width sort of stuff at least. You have a proper footwear for the floor that you have. If you've got slippery hardwoods, make sure that you're wearing good shoes that aren't going to slip and slide. If you've got thick carpet, making sure that your feet aren't going to get, isn't going to get caught on the carpet or something and trip you up. So just being careful. All right, let's begin. Okay, let's begin our warm-up. So we'll start with a little bit of side-to-side work. You can get some music going if you like, something to pass the time, give you something to step to. A little side stepping with some reach across, about chest height. Nice and easy. Remember, this is just a warm-up, barely breaking a sweat by the end of our 2 minutes. Gradually up a little higher with the hands. Just some consistent motion and movement, gaining some blood flow to the muscles, to the joints, greasing up the joints, getting the lungs stretching out, delivering oxygen. And a little higher with those hands. Keep it comfortable. Nice and easy. A little bit of a toe tap across the body. Or, I'm sorry, heel tap that is. There you go. Excellent. About a minute left here. Get up a little higher at the hands. Up above the head. And I'm going to switch to a toe tap behind me. Just across the body a little bit. And now I'm going to go right behind the body. Right behind yourself there. Excellent. We're going to switch to some knee curls and bicep curls. All right. So bicep curls here, and then a knee curl. Bending those knees as far as you feel comfortable. Same with the elbows. You can do singles or doubles with the arms. Almost there, about 15 seconds. Remember, you can always, stop and pause things and warm up if you need more time. All right, excellent, well done there. So first thing we have is a squat with a knee up. So I'll demonstrate. You can always grab a chair if you want something to hold on to for support, or windowsill, or do this next to a wall. So what we're doing here with the squat, feet about hip to shoulder width apart, toes are just barely flared out. As I do this squat, I'm going to lead with the hips and stick in the rear out. So my weight's going to be on my heels and the arches of my feet. Head and chest are going to face forward. That low back keeps straight. So down as far as I feel comfortable. And when I come up, I'm going to knee up. and then back down and knee up. And you can switch legs and alternate, or you can do the same leg when you do your knee up. It's all up to you. All right, so let's begin here. Taking a seat as low as you feel comfortable and knee up as high as you like. Nice and controlled. We want to make sure that you maintain your balance. And then, of course, remember how deep you go in that squat is up to you, and that will determine how tough it is. We're working the thigh muscles. We're working the muscles in the rump. We're getting the hip flexor in the front of the hip with these knee ups. And then abdominals and torso having to stabilize. I'm just kind of hinging forward and leaning forward a little bit to counterbalance myself, because you should feel like you're kind of want to, topple backwards when you go into that squat. One more here. All right, take a break there. So again, weight. You can counterbalance yourself with your hands forward, or if you want to have some dumbbells that you're holding on to. If you want some added weight, make this tougher, holding on to kettlebells or dumbbells, if you need something more than your body weight. So we break for about 30 seconds. We got 10 seconds left, and we'll do a second set, a second minute. So get some energy back. All right, let's get back into position again. Face this way this time. So taking a seat as low as you like, and then knee up. And then again, try to replace that foot hip to shoulder width apart. Down as far as you like, and then all the way forward. All the way up, and then that knee forward. "20 seconds. Keep going. We shoot for a whole minute of work. We're getting a lot of repetitions in. A little higher on the repetitions, a little lighter on the resistance is what this class focuses on. Keeping the heart rate elevated somewhat throughout the whole class. Last one here. All right, whew, nice job. Good work on those thighs. So next up we have a supine pelvic tilt with a chest press. So you're going to need your mat. We're going to be laying down on our back for this one. If you have a mat, if not, no worries. We're just laying down on the back here, and you'll need a couple dumbbells. Get it right in the right spot. So a couple of dumbbells. Laying on your back, knees up, and feet flat. All right. So our pelvic tilt, we are going to make sure I got these dumbbells right. We are going to roll the pelvis backwards, squishing your low back against the ground. Okay, so pushing your belly button to your spine, bearing down on the abdominals and holding that position. That's your pelvic tilt. Always want to maintain breathing, of course. Now with the dumbbells, good tight grip, dry hands. We're going to start palms facing towards our feet. We're going to allow those elbows to come down, touch the ground, and then push right back. Forearms and wrists are straight, facing straight up. All the way down until the elbows rest, and then all the way up top. Hands can come together a little more at the top. You can take a break there or keep going. And then when you need a break on that tilt, relax that tilt. Retilt the pelvis. Bear down on those abdominals. Keep that low back flat against the ground, and then start back up. Nice and controlled. These dumbbells at the top will be right above kind of the neck and top of the chest. All right, let's begin again for our second set. So pelvic tilt, hold, bear down those on those abdominals, and then up and down. Nice dry hands, good grip on those dumbbells. You don't want to dump one down on your face here. So here we're working some chest, the pectorals. We've got the triceps in the back of the upper arm, deltoids in the shoulder, front deltoid mostly. And then we're getting abdominals, low back, hips. They're all stabilizing while we do this exercise. And of course, breathing, always breathing. Keep going here. Almost there. All right, nice job there. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of one dumbbell and keep one of the dumbbells. Next, we're going to do is a pullover. Again, I want to adjust this mic here, sorry. So the pullover, we're going to hold a dumbbell with both hands and kind of whichever is comfortable for you, right above your face. Again, we're going to pelvic tilt, so I'm going to tilt and hold, bear down on those abdominals. Now I'm going to go backwards with the hands as far as I feel comfortable above my head, and then back up, straight up towards the ceiling. So with the arms fairly straight, going back until the dumbbell touches the ground at the farthest, if you want to go that far, and then back up towards the ceiling. Nice and controlled and slow. Now if you want to make this a little tougher, we can add some marches. So if I reset this tilt and hold, now I can add a little bit of a march, which makes holding this tilt even tougher. And now if I add this pullover while I'm marching, again makes that tilt even tougher to hold. Nice and controlled, good firm grip on that dumbbell. And then you can always take a break anytime. Reset that tilt, begin your march if you want, and then add those pullovers in. If this is a little difficult to get all three parts together, then I would eliminate the marching and just do the pelvic tilt and the pullovers. All right, take a break there. So again, we want to work the upper body, and that pullover is going to be tough enough to do while holding this pelvic tilt. You may notice that as the dumbbell gets closer to the ground above your head, that tilt wants to lift up. So that's when you really have to bear down on those abdominals, keep that low back flat against the ground, pushed firmly. Take that break, relax. All right, here we go for our second set. So again, that dumbbell starts above the neck. We pelvic tilt and hold. If you want, add those marches in, and then arms go back, elbows are fairly straight. Just a little bit of marching going on. There we go. Take a break as you want to. Again, I just want to make sure I'm not rubbing against this microphone here. Keep breathing, always breathing, don't hold your breath. How high you march is up to you. It's just a real small motion though. All right, well done. Okay, so next we have a cardiovascular, so nice and easy. Getting up, take your time. Now let's get rid of those dumbbells, get rid of your mat, clear your space. Make sure you have ample room to move around. And you can get going right away, or we have a transition of about 30 seconds. We got about 11 more seconds here. Make sure and grab some water. Have your water bottle handy. All right, I'm going to begin here. A little bit of side step, and we're officially going. 2 minutes and 22 seconds left. So I'm going to start with that reach across, kind of like what we did with our warm-up. So now we're actively trying to get your heart rate elevated. We want you breathing heavier. We want to see, the heart rate get up a little higher, more so than the warm-up. You can do what I'm doing or something else. If you've got a rowing machine or an elliptical or any other kind of cardiovascular machine, you can jump on that for for this 2 minutes. If you got stairs you want to step up and down, or an aerobic step, dance moves, whatever you can do that's consistent, that's going to get your heart rate elevated, get your breathing elevated also. A little bit of punching slightly across the body, a little bit of a heel tap. All right, I'm going to switch out to a march here. All right, so nice narrow march, pumping those arms away. If you want something a little less impact on the joints, marching with the toes on the ground, but just marching with the heels. So you can do that sort of stuff if you need a little less impact. Doing this seated, you can do a lot of the arm movements and different things while seated. That's fine too. Let's go a little bit of wide march here. So feet wider than shoulders. We got about 45 seconds left. Think of the talk test. If you can talk like I am out loud and be understood, you're probably at around 70% of your max for your heart rate. If you can't talk because you're so out of breath, you're probably above 70% of your heart rate. Let's go back to narrow, which is okay too. It just depends on how high you want that heart rate, whether you want to focus on that cardio a little bit more, or just keeping kind of a moderate heart rate for more fat burning purposes. A little wider. We got less than 10 seconds. Keep moving. Nice and quick. All right, nice job there. Okay, so we'll do some more strength training, and then we'll get another cardio in to spike that heart rate. We'll just kind of spike it up as the heart rate gets down from the strength training. So bicep curls with hamstring curls. We'll need a couple dumbbells again. Whatever weight feels comfortable to you. Remember, we're doing a minute. We're doing 2 minutes of an exercise a lot of times. So you want a little lighter on the resistance. So hamstring curl, that would be this sort of thing. I'm going to go one leg at a time, kind of rocking side to side as if I'm trying to kick myself in my rear with my heel, working the hamstring muscles. Now biceps, what I can do is alternate with the hands. I'm going to do a supination curl here. So letting the forearm rotate in and out. I'm going to bend that elbow fully and then let it straighten. And then once I feel comfortable, I can add it in. Nice and controlled. I don't want to go fast enough that I get momentum involved, that I start swinging my arms or swinging my hips. Nice and controlled. So I'm working biceps in the upper arm. I'm working hamstring in the back of the thigh. We got about 20 seconds left. Nice and controlled. A good firm grip. Dry hands on those dumbbells. Breathing. Think about good posture. Relaxing those shoulders. Head stays neutral. Just look in the same direction as your chest is looking. All right, nice job. Take a break. Got about 30 seconds. You can always dump those dumbbells. Give your forearms and your hands a little break from the gripping. Try to keep moving a little bit though. We want to keep the heart rate elevated the whole time. So just a little bit of stepping at least in between. Got another 12 seconds of rest. Let's get some energy back in those muscles. So again, we have biceps and then hamstrings, back of the thigh. Let's get in position. All right, same sort of thing. So I'm going to alternate back and forth. Same arm, same leg, or alternating, opposites, it doesn't matter. You could even do both arms at the same time. Gets going a little bit fast if you do that though. And again, we're trying to stay away from momentum. Kind of depends on how heavy your dumbbells are too. If heavier those dumbbells, the easier it is to start using momentum, trying to help yourself out. And then whatever range of motion you have in the elbow joints and the knee joints, keep it comfortable. Got about 11 seconds left. Almost there. All right, nice job there. Next exercise here, what do we got? Seated lean back with external rotation. So you're going to need your chair and your resistance tubing or band, something a little lighter. All right, just using my dining room chair here. Again, you want a chair that, you can move around easy. A chair that's solid, that's not going to tilt or tip on you or slide on you. So I'm going to take a seat on the first half of the chair because I want some room behind me so I can lean back to get those abdominal muscles to kick in and start. So external rotation, I'm going to grab my band or tubing, palms up, elbows are tucked in at my sides, nice and tight, bent at about 90 degrees in the elbow. I can even wrap around once or twice, starting with palms up. Okay. Now I'm going to lean back, and then what I'll do is I'm going to allow those hands to go away from each other. Okay. Rotate those arms from the shoulders out to the sides behind me here. As I do that, I'm going to give a little bit of a squeeze on my shoulder blade. Squeeze those shoulder blades together towards your spine. Where you grab on this tubing is up to you. If you grab a little closer in, it's going to be tougher to do. If you grab a little further away, you'll get a little bit more range of motion. So it just kind of depends on what's comfortable for you. Depends on how tough your band or tubing is. If you've got light ones, go ahead and take a break there. If you've got a light tubing, makes it a lot easier to get a good full range of motion out to the sides. If something's tight, you're only going to get a little bit of range of motion here. So try to either, use a tubing that's pretty light or grab a little wider than elbow width apart so that you can really pull that apart and get some good range of motion in the external rotators here for the shoulders and squeezing those shoulder blades together. And then remember, of course, we're leaning back just a little bit. Keep those feet on the ground. Abdominals are tight. You're breathing the whole time though. All right, so in position again. How far you lean back is up to you. And then take breaks every once in a while, especially on that lean back. Keep breathing. Think good posture, relaxing those shoulders. It's okay to squeeze those shoulder blades together, but we don't want to hunch up at all if we can help it. So remember, palms are facing up towards the ceiling. Nice grip on this tubing or band, whatever you're using. And again, take a break and sit upright. Lean back, get those abdominals engaging. And we got about 16 more seconds. External rotate with those shoulders. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Head's looking forward. We're getting the external rotators in the shoulders and some of the upper back muscles between the shoulder blades and then some abdominals. All right, that's it for that one. Nice job. Okay, so we've got our standing shoulder press. So keeping your rubber band or your tubing. If you have something with a handle, even better. But of course, not necessarily necessary to have that. You can do this one standing. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to stand on my tubing. I'm going to rack this right in front of my shoulder, palm facing in towards me. And then I'm going to shoulder press up. So this is one arm at a time. Tighten those abdominals. Just this sort of motion here, okay? So remember, where you step determines how tough it is to push. If I step a little closer to my hand. Now this tubing is tighter. It's going to make this a little harder. I've got my elbow kind of flared out slightly, but keeping it fairly close into the body. And if I want a little bit less resistance, I step out a little further. I want just a little bit of resistance from the beginning before I go up. Nice and easy. Keep it comfortable on the shoulder joint. As high as you can, really straightening that elbow and then back down. Thinking good posture again. Head looking forward. Abdominals are braced. I've got a good amount of weight on this foot so this band doesn't slip out and whack something. All right, nice job. Take a break there. So we're working deltoids in the shoulder. We're getting tricep in the back of the arm. Again, what I'll do is I'll just switch to the other side for this second set. So remember, just a little bit of resistance as you rack this kind of right in front of your shoulder. Remember, your palm is facing in, thumb towards your face here. We've got a couple more seconds. Brace those abdominals, whatever stance gives you good balance and support. And now pressing straight up. Whatever range of motion works on your shoulder, as high as you can, above your head. Straighten that elbow. So we're getting those deltoids in the shoulder, front and middle. We're getting tricep, back of the upper arm. A little bit of a pelvic tilt here, kind of squeezing the cheeks together on my rear. I don't want anything moving but my shoulder and elbow. Wrist is straight. 20 seconds left. There you go, looking good. And of course, you know, where you stand on that tubing, or if you have tubings or bands that are thicker and stronger, that will determine how tough this gets. All right, nice job there, well done. Okay, next we have a cardio. Going back to cardiovascular. So clearing out your space, making sure you have at least an arm's width around you to move. Nothing to trip over, nothing to run into. I'm going to grab some water here. Make sure you have a good water bottle around or something. And we can get going right away, or we've got a good 15 seconds of transition. All depends on what you want to do. All right, I'm going to start a little bit of an uppercut here. So a side step, and then punching up and across my body from the waist up. Uppercut punch, side step. Just consistent motion and movement. Again, we're trying to spike the heart rate back up. It's probably died down in the last 3 exercises. And so now we're going to give it a little jar again to get it back up there. And then we'll get 3 more exercises in. And then 1 more cardio to spike it back up again. There you go. Going back to a front punch here. And a little bit of a heel tap in front also. So what I'm doing or something else, your speed can be faster or slower than what I'm doing. Just all depends on how high you want to get your cardiovascular up and how your joints are doing. You may be doing something totally different than I'm doing, and that's fine also. This is all up to you. This is just a guide of what you could do. There you go. All right, so I'm going to go back to some marching and pumping those arms. There you go. Nice wide march. And I'm going to alternate back and forth. We got a little more than a minute left here. So narrow and then wide. And narrow and wide. Keep that pace. Narrow and wide. Keep going. Leading with the right foot here. 2 marches each. Pumping those elbows again. back to a narrow march. Let's go to a little bit of scissors. So feet are still marching. And now we got palms up, elbows tucked to your sides, a little bit of a scissor. Internal, external rotation of the shoulder. Just keep moving. Looking good there. 10 more seconds. Keep up with that scissor. Keep it comfortable though. All right. Nice job there. Okay, so we've got a standing diagonal rotation. So you're going to need a dumbbell for this. One dumbbell. Okay. So what we're going to do, again, a nice stance, feet a good hip width apart or more. We're going to go with two hands on the dumbbell, kind of whatever's comfortable for you to hold it. We're going to start down low on the outside of the hip. We're going to rotate the whole body and bring this dumbbell up across the shoulder to the opposite shoulder. Down here and across. So as I do this, I'm going to rotate my torso, my hips. I'm going to pivot and shift weight on my feet. You see my heels kind of swiveling back and forth. Starting on the outside of the hip. And then I do a diagonal up, across, and above my opposite shoulder. How high you go is up to you. Keep it controlled, not too fast. And then there's just a little bit of a rotation and a bend and squat at the bottom. And then really standing up nice and tall at the top. I got 20 seconds here. The heavier the dumbbell or kettlebell or whatever you're using, the tougher it's going to be. Not too fast. There you go. Looking good there. Second set, we will just do the opposite direction, the other side. All right. Take a break there. I'm going to release the dumbbell. So again, second set, I'm just going to start low from the right side and then go up above the left. So the opposite of what I was just doing for myself. We're getting obliques and abdominal muscles during that rotations. Hip having to work. Lower back and spine stabilizers doing some work there. Legs and feet having to do some work for stabilization. We're getting some chest, back, lots of shoulders and arms involved there. All right, so let's try it again. In position. I'm going to start on the opposite side and up. Again, keep it comfortable. I'm just pivoting with my feet, shifting weight back and forth from foot to foot, and then trying to bring my hands from the outside of the hip up above to the opposite shoulder. Straightening those elbows both directions if I can. So that dumbbell always kind of comes back to the chest before going to the bottom or to the top. Less than 10 seconds. Keep moving. All right, nice job there. Well done. All right, so next exercise we have the get up and get down. All right, so you can do this one, grab your mat again, or if you have some pillows that you want to set down on the ground, have your chair for support, or if you have a window sill or somewhere that you can help you get up and down if you need it, okay? So what I'm looking here is, I'm actually going to rotate it this way. I'm going to stand on my mat, and I'm just going to get down on one knee, then the other, and then back up, all right? So down, down, and up, okay? And I can pick, which knee I do what. Slow and controlled, though. And again, if you have a good and thick mat or nice soft carpet, this is going to be a lot easier. I'm not actively using my hands too much here, just more for support. Nice and controlled, slow, using that front leg to do most of the work. Back leg is helping also. This one's a little tougher to do, especially if your knees are not super happy with you. Almost there. 5 seconds. All right. Nice job there. Take a break. Grab a sip of water and we will do another set. Functional, of course. You know, we've got to get up and down off the ground sometimes. So it's functional to train that way also. Again, window seal or something that can just give you a little bit of help is always nice. All right, so let's try it again. And go the other way now. I've got to baby this right knee a little bit, especially on this direction. It's nice to have, again, a nice soft mat or good carpet or some pillows that you can kneel on. And then take your time. Even if you only get 3 or 4 repetitions in the minute, again, that works. About 15, 16 seconds. And one more in here. All right, nice job there. Well done. Next exercise. All right, so chair plank. You're going to need your chair. Again, something solid, something that's not going to tip on you or slip or slide on you. All right. So this one's a little more intense on the upper body. We're working the abdominals and the core, but most of our weight is going to be on our shoulders and chest and arms. So as we do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be right down where the feet of my, or I'm sorry, where the legs of my chair are. That way I don't want this to do any kind of tipping. All right, so find a good spot on your chair to put your hands. You're going to walk your feet backwards a little bit. Heels can come off the ground. And then just lower your hips forward. Hands are right below the shoulders. And you're going to hold this position as long as you can comfortably. And then when you tire out, stand back up. Again, whatever's comfortable on the hands and the wrists, try to keep those elbows straight. Try to keep your hands right below your shoulders. Make sure that chair isn't going to slide or tilt. Head just looks down. You don't want to sag, and you don't want the buns peaked way up here. So really bring those hips forward and down till you get to a good comfortable position, and then hold. Take a break as you need to, and yep, we're at a break time here. A little bit of fatigue and shaking is okay. If you start to get out of form, especially by letting that low back sag, okay, really engage your abdominal muscles, pelvic tilt, okay, thrusting those hips forward, clenching those cheeks together, trying to keep your body as straight as you can from your shoulders down to your ankles. And then again, trying to keep those elbows straight. All right, so back in position again, 1 more minute. And walk those feet back behind you. And then lower those hips. Hold that position. And you can go a little wider with the feet if you want, depending on what gives you good stability. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. And then take a break when you need to. Try to hold, 5-second chunks or 10-second chunks or more. Abdominals are tight. Hold that position. Hands are below the shoulders. Keep those elbows straight. Head is neutral. About 7-8 seconds left. All right, nice job there. Well done. Okay, so we've got our last cardio. So getting rid of your chair, clearing out your space. Make sure your water's available. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of sweeping across the body. And we got about 14 seconds till official start, but you can get going right away or take that break. Just sweeping arms and legs across the front of the body. Nice and controlled. All right, 2 minutes and 22 seconds left. Looking good there. One more time to spike up this heart rate, get the heart rate elevated, get your breathing elevated. There we go. All right, a little bit of a marching here. What I'm going to do is start up top and pull down. Reach up above the head, pull down. So emphasize the pulling as opposed to the pushing up top. There you go. Pull down. Good posture. Breathing. Excellent. All right. I'm going to hinge forward slightly and with the legs straight, a little bit of a hip extension. Keep the elbows and arms straight. A little bit of shoulder movement here. There you go. Looking good. All right, so back to a march. Let's go a wide march, a minute left. Faster or slower, it's all up to you. Back to a narrow march. I'm going to march a couple steps forward, a little kick, and backwards, kick. How many steps you take will determine, or will depend on, how big of a space you have. Keep moving. 30 seconds. Excellent. All right, back to a regular narrow march here. Pump those arms. Let's go up and down. Rotating palms in and palms out when you go up and in when you come down. Keep that march up. Just keep waving those arms. Almost there. Excellent. All right, so let's slow that march down. Keep the arms moving. We are now into cool down. So same sort of movements for a little bit, but just at a slower pace. Let's go back to pumping those elbows. Nice and wide. Almost a tick-tock back and forth with a bicep curl here. And slow it up even more. Just tick-tocking back and forth. We're going to add a little bit of balance in with our cool down. Ideally, we want to get our heart rate under 100 beats per minute. So if you're checking your heart rate, under 100 beats per minute is kind of what we're shooting for. We just want to keep moving. You can grab your water bottle and walk around the house, that sort of stuff. We just don't want to stop moving until that heart rate gets down a little lower. So what we'll do is we're going to start with some toe walking. Okay, so up on your toes and then walking side to side or back and forth. You can tick-tock rocking in one, if you want to grab your chair or the windowsill and back and forth. But we're a little bit of a balance work here. Keeping moving, so our cardiovascular, getting some work, walking on those toes, working the calf muscles. Now we're going to go to our heels. All right, so some heel walking, back and forth, same sort of thing. You can be in one spot or move around, but now toes are up in the air. So weights on our heels. Nice and easy. We're still moving. There you go. Keep it up. Keep going. All right. Awesome. So a little bit of a tightrope walk here. So just pretending that maybe you have a tightrope that's as wide as your hips, or maybe it's as wide as, two of your feet together, or as wide as 1 foot. And then how big of a step you take is up to you. Forwards or backwards, again, depending on how much room you have to move around. Be aware of what's around you. If I do heel to toe, of course, it gets even tougher. Maybe I close one eye. Now this is even harder to do with one eye closed, or if you try with both eyes closed. Again, whatever is safe, but whatever gives you some work. I'm going to close my other eye. Just one eye closed here. And I'm just trying to feel the ground with my feet. Use my vision, peripheral vision especially, to know what's around me. Making sure I have nothing to trip over or slip on. All right, nice and easy. Okay, let's finish up with some stretches here. So we got a little bit of balance, a little bit of a cool down. Heart rate should be getting down a little better. So our first stretch, we're going to stretch the back of the thigh. So I'm going to put my weight on my back leg. Legs and toes are going to face forward. I'm going to dig the heel in on the leg that I'm stretching, right in front of me here. And I'm kind of squatting down and leaning forward until I feel that stretch behind my thigh, behind my knee. You could feel that in the calf or the rump. Nice and gentle. Keep holding that. Nice and gentle. No bouncing, no jerking. Let's switch legs here. Try to hold a good 15 or more seconds. Real easy. Think of good posture and always breathing. Trying to relax your body, especially this thigh. We want to relax the thigh. All right, well done here. So another stretch we're going to do is for the upper back, middle back. So what I'll do is I'll pelvic tilt like what we did on the ground. So thrusting those hips forward, that low back straightens and flattens out. I'm going to clench the cheeks on my rear together. I'm going to look at my palms with my fingers interlaced together and then push those hands away from the body. I'm rounding out my upper back, my middle back. A little bit of a stretch in the arms and the forearms. And again, just holding that position and breathing. Almost there. All right, excellent. Well done. One more stretch here. So we're going to go up 90 degrees from the armpit area and the elbow area. And then I'm going to bring those arms backwards. Really pushing my chest out. We're trying to stretch the chest and the fronts of the shoulders. I can bring those hands together. If you get a better stretch holding on to your hands or behind your ears or head. Nice deep breathing. And then let's straighten those elbows. Thumbs are back, palms are up. And now I'm going to dip those fingers down. So I'm stretching out my forearms and my arms, my wrists and palms. And again, chest and shoulders. Keep breathing. All right, and shake it all out. Well done today. All right, thank you for being here.